Hi kids, I'm back. Did you miss me? It's been a whole day. So I was gonna give myself a little break in between my 44-day project and getting into doing readings for other people, but I don't feel like it. I just want to keep going, you know? It's like, it's working, it's fun, I enjoy it, so why not? So this card, this first reading, is for my sister-in-law Katie, who asked me to give her one a few days ago via TikTok. So thank you, Katie, for reading my mind and knowing that this was what I kind of wanted to do, but I hadn't announced it yet, and then you asked for one and it was just perfect. So this is for her. And so the kind of like approach I'm taking with this is similar to the project. So I'm gonna pick a card and I'll just see what comes up, and yeah, hopefully it's something that you can relate to. You know, I don't really know how, I don't really know how it works in terms of individuals. I'm simply going off of just what comes up in me, and hopefully it's something you can relate to and maybe even other people can relate to. But no promises, okay? I'm not claiming to be anything other than just someone who picks a card and just talks about whatever comes up. You know, like nothing fancy going on here. No, you know, nothing special, nothing fancy, just working with what's here. So, okay. Shuffling, I get to work with the whole deck, which is fun. Yeah. I'm also going to just like pick a card. Okay, so I'll pick a card here. We'll do, and I'm not looking at them, so we'll do this one. I like to just go in the middle, you know, balance stuff. So I'll pick the card, talk about what's here, and then if we got some time, if the video's not too crazy long, I will look in the book and share some points from the book in terms of how the book describes it. So, your card. Okay. This is a recent card that I had in my series. So it says The Great Gathering. It's all coming together. Intuitive hits. Soul Tribe. So what comes up when I look at this card though, this time, is this space that's between people. So it's like this point of space, creating space, having space, being in a more spacious environment. It's like stretching out, you know, it's like the body needs to like stretch, you know, like it needs like it needs a stretch, yoga, stretching, something that's like it needs to, like, you know how sometimes things get stagnant and like stiff and like, my battery's about to die, hold on. Okay, back, sorry about that. So yes, as I was saying, it's like that point of when things are like they haven't moved in a while, it's like things get kind of solid and like locked in and kind of stiff and rigid and like tight, you know, and it's like this point of needing to like stretch it out, you know what I mean, like loosen it up, like have some more fluids flowing through, like more like liquidity and fluidity and like flexibility and adaptability and like this flow, you know, there needs to be like more of a flow, not such a like tightness. And I know that your foot, you hurt your foot and it's kind of slowed you down maybe and kind of locked you into where you're at. You don't have as much momentum or movement. But this could be something externally or internally. But maybe it's the body, and like in particular the body, like you can't move as much, so maybe there are some other ways in which you can still move other parts of your body. I know that like when you have an injury, it's hard to like move, you know, and so things can get tight and stiffened, but maybe there's some other things you can do in terms of helping the body to make sure that there's a flow, you know. It's like just like it's like the stretching, it's just stretching, it's like creating space. So if there is something there that resonates with you, I hope. What else? The word expansion too comes up. It's like a growth. So sometimes when we have injuries in the body, it can feel like we have been like, you know, stopped or like slowed down, and so we feel like there's not any growth happening because, or expansion, or like movement, or, you know, it feels like really restricted when we have injuries, and we are like, we like have to literally stay in the same spot. We don't have that same like easy going wherever I want. I have this flexibility to just move. But I encourage you to consider viewing it as a point of there can be an expansion within yourself, which is a real expansion. It's that point of like taking some time to reflect on where you're at, and if you're satisfied, and what you're not satisfied with, and how you would want things to be different. So it's also that point of like creating space for yourself to tune into yourself, to look at where am I the most satisfied and where am I not yet satisfied. Like, what in my life am I not satisfied with? What in my life is like stuck or stagnant or not moving? Where do I feel like I need more flow? Where do I feel like within me, even like who I am, do I need more like fluidity, flexibility, you know, like movement? Where is there like a blockage? So it's that point of expansion. So even though like you're limited in your physical movements and space at the moment because you're, you know, healing from this energy or this injury, there can be this point of, it's interesting that I said energy. So like what energy is in that foot injury there? Like, here's a little just practice for you. When you look at your foot being injured, what were the reactions that came up in terms of any fears, worries, thoughts, ideas, concerns? Like, what were the things that you thought about when you injured your foot? Like, where did you feel like you were limited, or what were the ideas that came up? Because sometimes the body is very specific in terms of it wants to communicate to you, and it can communicate to you, and so the injury is a form of communication in saying something to you. So if you like just like tuned into the foot in your body, it's like, and ask the body, what is this, what is the point of this injury? What is the point of this, you know, happening? Like, what is it for me to learn about myself? What is it for me to learn about my life? You know, like, it's that point of working with. It's very easy to, when we have injuries, blame the body, or if we have sickness or illness, like feel like we're a victim to the body, or the body has this like control over us and we are like just like helpless within it. But the body is very much here and wants to work with us, you know. It is communicating, and it is open, and there's so much knowledge in the body. So I also encourage you to look at the body. What is the body wanting to communicate to you in terms of this injury, you know? This is where we turn things that we might seem as bad or negative into positive gifts, you know? Like, everything does become a gift in a way if we're learning from it, if we're able to reflect and get to know, like, what can I learn about myself? What can I understand about myself from this experience? So it's just that point of like an internal expansion happening. Like, even though physically you feel like maybe you're more restricted, internally there can be an expansion. And like I said, that's the real expansion, because when you expand within yourself, you realize that the conditions and circumstances around you don't necessarily have to change for you to change your experience. You know, it's that point of, you know, change the way you look at things, and the things you look at will change. So in terms of like how you experience what is happening to you around you and other people, it starts within yourself. You can shift that experience. So if you had or have, and I don't know, and this is maybe an assumption, and I apologize for assuming, but if you had a negative experience in relation to your foot, there is a potential for you to shift it into a positive experience and perspective, and see there are some gifts there for you to learn about yourself, and it can support you then as you move in your life. And so I encourage you to look at this as an expansion. It's a point of your body is supporting you, you know, it really is. And I know it's hard. I know that's hard to hear sometimes. We don't want to hear that, you know. We want to feel, you know, it's that point of like making a decision to be empowered by my life, no matter the circumstances, no matter the condition. I'm going to be empowered by this, and I'm going to use this to support me and to be like, to grow, you know. yeah, it's all how we look at things and how we experience things. It's our decision, it really is. It's that point of you get what you get back what you put in. So how are you looking at this? How are you looking at things? How are you, who are you in relation to this stuff? If there's a dissatisfaction, can you shift to see how it's actually helping you and supporting you and find satisfaction in that? Because then you're empowered and it doesn't slow you down and it doesn't discourage you. You become empowered, you become inspired, encouraged, and like, it's that point of like, yeah, I can still do this and this and this, and I still have this and this and this, and I'm still able to communicate this and this and this and express this and this and this. Like finding the good in it, the silver lining. And just really holding on to that because that matters, and it's part of the experience. So that is my reading for you. The Great Gathering. It's just you gathering, maybe even it's even like a point of like an in-breath where it's like you're taking an in-breath and you're kind of gathering yourself, right? And like, so the injuries like kind of made you kind of gather yourself and like bring yourself back here. You can't do as much. You're not like, you're a little bit more like, not isolated, but more with yourself. And so it's like gathering all the parts of yourself in your life and looking at, okay, this is my life, this is me, here I am. What am I not happy with? And what am I happy with? And how can I make what I'm not happy with what I am happy with? It's like you have the power to do that. So create space. Expand, stretch, 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 stretch. Like stretch every day if you can stretch. And thanks, Katie, for being my guinea pig. And I hope that this resonated with you. And if anyone else is watching, I hope that if this resonates with you, great. It's also specific for you. And if it didn't, fine. There's still things that you can maybe apply for your life. And so, yeah, of course, our self-talk can sometimes be negative, and I'm practicing dismissing that, but the experience is I'm probably not spot on at all for this, but I'm hopeful that you did get something out of it. I sure did. It was fun for me, and good points for me also, to remember to stretch and to see the good in the experiences and what I can learn, and how to just walk that point of like just being empowered by everything that happens. Find how I can empower myself within it. So thanks again, and yeah, I'm eager to hear any feedback you have, anything you want to share from it. Otherwise, just take this and enjoy. I forgot I was gonna give you the book definition of this card, so I'm gonna go ahead and read this for you now, okay? Whoop, whoop, whoop. The Great Gathering. Okay, it's all coming together, intuitive hit, soul tribe. You are being called to let your intuition move you physically. You are connected to a group of souls who are weaving a web around the planet. And as you travel and share your creations, something is rethreaded. This card is an acknowledgement that you are either being called to connect with others who are like you at a soul level, or that you already are. You are being called to gather groups of people either by leading them or becoming part of a group that can support you in your soul's personal mission. You are part of a group of souls who agree to be here at this time in history to heal yourself, your ancestral line, and the planet. To raise consciousness so that you can continue to call this magnificent place home for eras to come. One of many consciously choosing to devote your life to something greater than yourself. It's time to call in your tribe by sharing your soul's voice and letting yourself be seen. When you share what is real and true to you, and you share the medicine that you most need, those who are like you will gather around you. You are your tribe. They are just like you. And just as you are longing and searching for them, they are longing and searching for you. So this card has an affirmation you can use also. And the affirmation is, I choose now to let myself be seen. I am ready to call in my soul tribe and create a web of light all over the planet. So that is the book definition, and I hope that is also something that you can resonate with. So thanks.